lot of people fear failure. It's the start that stops most people, just getting going. Once you get going, you have your own set of issues to worry about, but that start is a lot of times what really gets people. But what is it about fear of failure that gets people? Why do people fear falling short of expectations, losing games, not wanting to start because of whatever reason? So there's three things that I think of that cause fear of failure. Number one is fear of judgment. We don't want to look silly. We don't want people judging us. We don't want to believe that people think that we don't know what we're talking about. And that's a primal, very distinct fear associated with getting kicked out of the tribe. It's a survival mechanism. I get it. The second one is paralysis by perfection. You see all the examples of what everybody else is doing, and so many things are polished, whether it be TV or social media, movies, and it just looks like everybody else has it together except for you. And so because it's not perfect, or you think it has to be perfect, you don't even start because you think that you don't have the tools, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the capabilities, whatever. You're experiencing paralysis by perfection. And then the third one is just the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be successful. I don't know if I'm going to be unsuccessful. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know what the process is going to look like. I don't know this. And it's just the unknown rattles people, and they don't like doing things where there's unknowns, makes them feel uncomfortable. So when you think about failure, what I would challenge you to try to think, what exactly does that term mean to you? Does it mean that you fail at something and that's the end? Do you fail at something and then nobody's going to like you? You fail at something and then you feel silly? What is failure mean to you? How do you define it? And if you experience that fear of failure, what exactly is it about the failure that bothers you so much? Because you can use failure as preparation, right? You've got failure as feedback. Anytime something happens and you fall short of expectations or it doesn't go exactly your way, what is it that you are learning from that? What can you learn from that? And then the idea of normalizing failure, just expecting that it's going to happen. I am on my third attempted video today. My third video today. I tried making 2 videos this morning, and technical errors led to failed videos. That's a whole nother story. But I failed on the first one on my drive to work, on my morning drive to the gym, and it didn't work out. So I reset, refocused. After the gym, I have a shorter drive to work. It's another conversation of why I do that. Driving about 35, 40-ish minutes to the gym, and then I only have a 10-minute drive to work. Well, so I figured, then I'll do a second video, a second attempt. I'll just make it short. I'll get it to the point. And a couple minutes in, I had another technical error. I'm driving. I can't fix it. Okay, so that means it's done. So 2 fails before 8 o'clock this morning. And so then I'm thinking, I got another chance to get it right on the way home. I've got another 40-ish, 45-minute drive to try it again. I'm normalizing failure. It's almost the expectation. I'm going outside of my norms. I'm going outside of my comfort zone to try something new. I have historically been involved in things like, doing video podcasts, do audio podcasts, doing presentations with some type of material that's going to carry the information and I can refer back to it. But if I'm driving, I clearly can't be reading off of a script. So this is totally different than what I'm used to. impromptu vlogging, just having a conversation as if you were sitting in the passenger seat of my car and I'm just talking and talking and talking and you're listening. It's a new thing for me, and I have to normalize the idea that there are going to be problems, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be failures, and I'm just going to have to accept those. If I want to get better, I'm going to have to accept that something new is going to be challenging for me, right? So how do you get better? Well, it's just like anything else. It's the power of practice. How do you get better at, and I'm not talking about how do you get better at the thing that you're doing. I'm talking about how do you get better at accepting failure. Failure is part of the process. How do you become okay with that? And you have to practice it just like anything else. I practice my voice. I practice my inflections when I have a scripted podcast. I can practice my inflections. I can even type it into the notes of how to talk when, like as if you're reading a movie script. But if I don't have that as part of my vlogging, then how do I do that? I take the lessons learned from the scripted and I try to apply that to the impromptu vlogs, right? And that was my attempt right there, a deliberate attempt to not say or I paused rather than saying those words, still searching for the words, but I still was getting a little bit nervous or flustered, but trying to overcome those things. You have to use deliberate practice. You just have to do them. Just do it, right? Just go. And practice builds confidence. Not always. That's not 100%, right? It's like the phrase, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't like that because what doesn't kill you might make you weak. Practice doesn't always mean you're going to gain confidence, because what if your practice is consistently filled with failure, and then you get flustered and you're making mistakes and you're not okay with the mistakes, and then suddenly the practice is not effective. You're not getting the things out of the practice that you want. So again, it's what's the attitude that you carry forward? Are you okay? And that's why I like the idea of vlogging. People want the real life, not the polished version and the 30 edits and all the transitions. Just put on a camera, hit record, and whatever happens, happens. It's the real version of what's happening, including all the noise and the bumps on the road. So thinking through and really struggling not to say things like and try to have a coherent thought rather than just babbling on, which is okay because I might need to collect my thoughts. This is an early example. It's my hopefully first completed video, not my first attempt, because I had 2 fails this morning. And I tried a couple more this last week, and that didn't go well either. So hopefully this is my first completed vlogging video that is going to be very imperfect. And I have to be okay with that. The more I do it, the more these conversations are going to become more conversational rather than attempts at remembering and regurgitating a script. Because I hope that feels better for you listening to this, and it encourages more reflection, but it also encourages you to comment back and send me messages of your thoughts and your experiences or questions, concerns, comments that you might have, because I want this to be a two-way thing. I'm doing this not for myself. I'm doing this for myself, yes, but I'm doing this to build community and to have conversations with people, right? So practice does build confidence if you carry the right mindset. But then also the idea of fail on purpose. Go do things that you know you're going to be bad at, and have a good attitude to know that you're going to be bad at them and be okay with it. Fail on purpose. I'm putting a camera on my dashboard. Somebody who is I feel like I'm very good at speaking, but I'm not very good at this type of speaking. So I knew there was going to be failures. Fail on purpose, right? So how do you overcome fear of failure? Because it's a real thing. And it's one thing to say, hey, don't worry about it. That's kind of like telling a depressed person, hey, don't be sad. hey, don't be depressed. That's not okay, because it's more complicated than that. So what are the actual strategies that you're going to use to overcome fear of failure? And so I say just start, but even more specifically, start small. Give yourself something that's a little bit challenging, a little bit outside your comfort zone, and then go do it. Start small. Give yourself little wins, little accomplishments to build your confidence, to get more practice. Start small. We talk a lot about mindset, shifting your mindset. And it really is, attitude is everything. Perception is your reality. If you view these mistakes, if I was to view these mistakes this morning as this catastrophic example of my lack of competence and character and worthiness of making all this energy, putting all this energy and effort into doing videos that maybe nobody's going to watch, I could be very devastated by those. So I have to be very careful that of the mindset and the attitude that I bring to the experience. It's extremely important. Focus on the process. The outcome that I desire is impact, community engagement, people learning from me, also offering feedback to me so I can get better. That is not a picture on a wall. That's a constantly evolving process. And so enjoy the process. Even the they talk about in sports, the championship effort, the championship exhibition, the game or the contest or whatever it was, that is not the champion. That is not the full image of what it takes to become a champion. It's all the effort and all the memories and all the hard work and dedication that the individual or the team put in to get to that. The championship moment is just the demonstration of the attitude, effort, and training that was put in over the long period of time. So enjoy that. Focus on the process and just enjoy. You're not going for a single moment, because even if that single moment happens, what then? Yes, you want to enjoy that. But what now? What are you going to do? It's a process, so enjoy the process, right? And then surround yourself with support. I hope that people that will watch my vlogging videos and engage with me are people that aren't just here to just criticize. Like, I'm all about some constructive feedback. But if you're just going to watch this video for a couple seconds and respond and say, wow, this is shit, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't want people to say, oh, you're so amazing, when I'm not amazing. What I want is for people to be encouraging and supportive, which means be honest, be empathetic, be here, come here to learn, but also come here to support and encourage other people and help other people grow. That's what I want, right? So fear of failure is difficult. The only way to overcome it is to face it and to start small, to do the little things, to be consistent, and to do the little things over a long period of time that are going to get you the results that you want. The start stops most people. So just start. You got this.